I've learned a lot over the 4 decades of health and fitness and being in the trenches with the greatest in the world. And one of those things I've learned a lot more about and how to build better muscle is nutrition and how it has changed over the decades. And that's why I have the Titan meal plan for you guys out there that are confused about nutrition. I'm gonna set you straight. Get a hold of me today. The link will be in the comments down below for you guys. Everybody, get over to the Titan meal plan, and I'll see you in the Titan crew where I will fine tune any difficulties that you're having.
So, my opportunity here, I'd like these guys to get something that people don't talk about. Why would martial arts be good for the youth? Because the one thing is, how old were you when you started?
So I started when I was 14, but only for 3-4 months because I was bullied a lot because of the skin disease I had. So I was the leper at school, and I saw Bruce Lee movie at 12. Took me 2 years to convince my parents to get me in martial arts. Finally, they allowed me. 2 months later, I get in a fight with the biggest bully in my school, knocked him out, one shot, and police showed up because he broke his nose. And then, of course, the mom and dad took me off. So then when I was 21, I moved out of the house, and then I started immediately karate, but I went to compete Thai boxing, and then 6 weeks later, I started competing already.
So, because the one thing I see that people, they go, well, yeah, I want my kid to start martial arts, but there's a side effect of martial arts.
Yeah.
There's the self-confidence, the discipline, the little things they miss. I just want to, it's like in bodybuilding, fitness, I just want to be muscular.
Yes.
Well, what's the side effect?
Yeah.
There's some cool things like connective tissue that's strong. That way you could be an actual athlete. Longevity, you can stay healthy, you can stay somewhat injury-free.
Yep.
And martial arts has that same kind of stuff that they don't think about. They just think about, I want my kid to be tough.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Bruce Lee, that peaceful warrior, you're a great guy, you're a nice guy, unless you get
That's the thing.
pushed.
That's the same. You look at the tiger, you know, you look at the lion, you look at, they know they have the power, and then because of that, they don't need to use it. And I think that once you have that, as a kid, you project that, you know, when women walk on the street and somebody, they're walking like this, that's a target. And if a person walks on the street, one of those CrossFit ladies, you know, who competes, I don't think they're going to be bothered because they have a whole different persona, and they show everybody it's going to be a problem. You're going to have a fight on your hands, and they want to avoid every fight. But not only that, for the parents, first of all, any sport is good for kids.
Right.
Martial arts, and especially if you start talking, if the combinations are epic. If you do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for your cognitive function, it's amazing. It's problem-solving thinking. It's so, like for instance, I shoot a ball, but I had 4 neck surgeries, so I lost a lot of power in this arm. It's a 55-pound pull. I couldn't do it. And I go, and the guy goes, what's going on? You can't pull that? I said, oh, look, I showed him my arm, there's a whole atrophy there. I go, give me a second. He said, what do you mean? I said, I got it done. I just need to find a way around it. And well, they hooked that on. I don't know if you know how to shoot. They have a bat with a little hook, right? Yeah. So I go like, okay. And this, I'm telling you, goes for my submissions. I said, I got it. So I hook it on, and I grab the back of my head, and I push the bow away, and I say, I got it. And the guy goes, dude, can I film that? He said, I've never seen anything like that. I go, well, but that's the submission in me just found that answer because I was doing that for a long time. You see, so, and I think that
Again, you're playing chess where everybody else is playing checkers.
That's it. That's it. You're ahead right away. If you go to the Middle East, in schools they have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The reason they have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the combinations, the endless thinking. You never master it. You'll never say, okay, I mastered it. And every single time when I work out, I go, I didn't know that. That was cool. You know, you come up with something new. And I think that for a kid is really good in the development.
I agree with you. I got my little one, he started at 2, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and we'll get him into Judo. And I felt, me coming from a family that was very martial arts based, it helped us in ways that we didn't think about. We thought, okay, we're going to be athletes, we're going to do this. But it set us up to think differently than the average person.
Yeah.
It was not us scared of combat,
yeah,
and we were okay with it, and we never, I guess, wouldn't freak out. You wouldn't be so scared about trying things because you had that security of going, well, I know how to move my body, I know what I can do,
yep,
and I can move through this. And I want people out here, mostly parents, because I said to a friend of mine, very successful, very bright individual, I said, well, I want my son to get in a fight now. Why would you want your son to get in a fight now? And I go, he's 4, he's 5.
Yeah.
I don't want my son fighting at 25 on the streets.
Yeah.
That's a completely different world. And it seems so odd to him that I would say something like that being a father.
Well, no, it's not, because it's much more safe. This is the way they used to settle disputes. Just go outside. Still in England. In England, you go outside, and you break it out, and after that, everybody drinks a beer together again. You know, and that's the way it's supposed to be. But you know, the weak people, they suddenly come up with a weapon. You know, it's like, and I say, okay, but he did martial arts and I didn't do so. Maybe you should have done martial arts. It was always good to have a skill and don't need it, and to need a skill and don't have it. Right?
I don't know who said it. I don't know if it was Bruce Lee or not, but is that what it was? It was
True
like
Romance with a gun. He says, I found out these days, Christian Slater says, one of my favorite movies. He says, it's better to have a gun and don't need it than to need a gun and don't have it. So I just transformed that into a skill, you know, and it's better to have the skill and knowing that you have it and don't need it. But if God forbid something happens to you or your loved ones, or a weaker person on the street that you need help, you can step in.
I love that aspect, and what I noticed, we have a lot of fighters in here. There's a lot of guys that can handle themselves, and they're soft-spoken.
Yeah.
They carry themselves very relaxed, very. The reason why I say that is because most of my time is spent in these expos with the bodybuilders. Mm-hmm. The stiffness, the trying to be a badass and stuff like that. And I'm like, guys, relax. It's easy, man.
And they have to do it with talking, right? A lot of these guys, Here the talking happens here.
See, that's the cool thing about this is that these guys can relax and you can go through life a little bit more calm and relaxed because you've dealt with stuff in a facility to the most extreme level.
Yeah.
You've been in the dojos. You purposely try to create the most toxic, violent thing.
Yep.
So outside is so much easier.
Yep.
Or when you're in the match, or whatever it is. It's I think that's the coolest thing for me to be around.
It's like when I'm interviewing for every person, like in Japan, when I'm on the subway, you have 80-year-old people coming up because they know you're a fighter, they watch fighting. And everybody's always amazed that fighters are so much easy to approach. It's so funny because in the beginning, nobody wants to dispute with me because they think I'm going to beat them up. I go, you think how I settle scores? You know, if I don't win an argument, I beat you up. So this is not how we work, you know. We don't get paid, we don't do anything, trust me. But those people understand that. And then every single person who meets fighters, they will say the same thing you say. They're so gentle, they're so nice and relaxed. We have this guy here, Spider-Man, Masabo. Has 304 wins in the boxing matches from Cuba. He's the softest spoken guy. Dude, they just showed some highlights. He's the most violent person ever. You know? And then you go like, how can that? You know, it's Chris Cyborg, the lady. She's very nice. She talks like this. You see her fight. I don't want to fight her, right? I mean, she's an animal.
I think she's more jacked than I am.
Oh yeah. But that's the thing. That's again what we're talking about. And I think for parents it's really good to have the kids in there. Get them away from the stupid video games and do all that stuff because nobody's working outside. They're with COVID, right? The people who really passed away from COVID, that if you look at the percentage that were unhealthy, that was 95% of the people who passed away. All the healthy people, it was very rare that something happened. You say, yeah, but it's so hard. Make time. Say, I don't have the time. Can I see your phone? Oh, yesterday I had 8 hours screen time. Can you get 45 minutes from that? That's the only thing you need, 45 minutes. When I work out, they're hard workouts, but it's only 45 minutes. And that's it. You do it the first thing in the morning. I walk the dog, I do my prayers, do my meditation, walk the dog, jump in the cold plunge, do my breathing exercises, and then I work out. So, and then it's 8 o'clock. I did everything already.
You're good.
You see? And then sometimes, if it's 8, I could be in daily mass already. You see, so everything's before. Normally, when I wake up at 8:30, now I had a whole morning at 3.5 hours for myself and the Lord, and just to get myself, you know, in the mindset that I want to be that day.
If you are confused about training, do not worry. That's what the Titan training plan is for. For you guys to subscribe to this plan, you also get the additional coaching from me in the Titan private group. Get in there today, and I cannot wait to start working with you and making your dreams come true. Let's get back to the show.
With moving, and you've been doing this for a while, and you've been in battles, and with anybody, I try to talk about connective tissue and longevity. And the one thing that we were just talking about over here was you're feeling great. You're always looking and learning about new things so you can minimize. We're battle tested. We've got injuries and owies that we wake up with, and so it is a continuous trying to get through life as injury free and also as pain free as we possibly can, without going too far. And that's the one main thing is you never want to go too far, because then
that's the thing. Like a lot of people now, like in the early days, we're wired different because we're athletes, right? So the doctor says, so you can't do anything for a month. In 2 weeks, I'm training again, right? And I'm telling my students, if he says 1 month, take 2 months. And the reason I'm saying that is because I denied all that, and I didn't do that. And boy, once you get old, all these things that you did wrong, they will come back with a vengeance, and then you're constant pain. It's like I just told you, everything hurts. Like my hands are messed up, and I can't squeeze buttons. I sometimes use 2 hands, and I'm taking this new freaking pill, hyaluronic acid, that somebody said to me, only from this brand take it. So now I'm Googling the crap out of it because I took a pill and I'm pain free. And I go, there's no way, there's got to be something bad in this thing. So I'm hoping I'm wrong. But if that is not, I just found for me the holy grail.
For you. Yeah. So you kept searching for it, and that's one of the biggest things. And I agree with you. And I wish they would understand it. We always talk about you have to train smart.
Yeah.
And I know when we're young, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
If I can train, if he trains 2 hours, I'm training 3.
Yep.
If he's doing this, I don't stop till they stop.
Yep. So,
and that stuff comes back to hit you because everybody's not made the same.
Yep.
And some guys can train that 6-7 hours.
Yep.
Where other guys can't.
Yep.
And I keep trying to teach those youngsters, yes, go to the gym, go be a badass. Be somewhat intelligent. You're still playing chess.
Yep.
Because time and mileage is mileage regardless.
Yep.
By the time you're 40, 50, 60, that stuff adds up.
It will, especially also with you guys, bodybuilding, people have no micro tears, all these little things. It's not adding up, And you warm up. I mean, you really need to warm up now compared to in the early days. You didn't. You just walk in, you don't even stretch. You start kicking, and you do the whole thing. Now I stretch every day. I do a rosary every day. So that time, which is 15 minutes, depending on what you're doing, I stretch. So I already every day I stretch for at least like 20 minutes. You see, so that keeps you limber. That's also good for my knees because it takes the pressure off the tendons, and so you just have to be smarter. And still, if I have to kick you now, some people go like, dude, you kick him in the head. They go, I see what I've been stretching for years now. Every day, 15, 20 minutes. So you just need to develop a habit and to stay with the habit, especially if the habit is good. Like people don't have no clue. Like I eat, I just switched to carnivore. But before that, I eat 2.5 pounds of sweet potatoes. That's my breakfast. I don't take anything else, only that. Just water, no salt.
Okay, all right.
So I burn like a freaking maniac. They did a DNA test on me. They say you're one of the 3% of the population. He says, what amount do you eat? I go, you have no idea. I eat 10, 12 slices of bread before I go to bed. And otherwise I will wake up and I eat.
Right. You got to get that meal in before you bed.
Yeah.
That's just a side note for you guys. If you want to sleep through the night, get some good starchy carbs before you go to bed. You said something earlier, and I agree with it wholeheartedly. I used to be able to walk in the gym and I'd warm up for a minute and train for an hour.
Yeah.
And now I walk into the gym and I warm up for an hour and I train for a minute.
Yeah.
It really does reverse. And I go back to the beginning is mileage is mileage. Be smart about this the best you can. And I know it's easy for us to say.
Yep.
And it's hard for you guys to take that, but just be smart with your training, martial arts, with anything, the running on the ground, it's all that stuff. Be smart about it. Don't go crazy. Get precise. Be at the end of the day is be smarter. Don't train harder.
Be smarter, don't train harder. Check yourself the whole time. You guys film yourself. I always used to film myself. You learn a new technique. While you're doing it on the back, film yourself. Because in our minds, we always think we're perfect.
Yeah.
And you watch the tape and you realize you're not perfect. And every little tiny thing could be wrong. I'm kicking a bag. If I kick a bag as hard as I can, and I kick it at a little upward angle, well, my shin, every time the lower leg does a little tiny bit this. And that's okay for 100 workouts. But 1,000 workouts, that little tiny movement is going to do something. If you didn't film yourself, so if you don't open your hips and you kick like this a little upwards, then you have that movement. So if I open up my hips and can go directly to the target, I will never have that problem. And that's why I film myself, to make sure I don't make those little tiny mistakes, because eventually they start adding up, and then life is not funny.
Minute. You guys heard that? Minute. It's the smallest little thing, but it changes tremendously because of the time and everything.
A drop of water on the stone, right? You know, it doesn't do anything. You let them do that for a year, watch, there's a hole in the stone. That's a drop of water. So you can only imagine movement.
Drop of knowledge. So we'll finish this off. We are at Karate Combat. We're in Vegas. I'm excited about Anthony Henderson. Wow, this is badass.
It's so badass because 13 years to the day, almost, we on the 15th, and the 16th, 13 years ago, was when he did the Showtime kick off the cage, and now he's got the walls to do it. And like he already said in the interview, he said, I feel like Karate Combat is kind of made for me because he can use all these. Raymond Daniels was already using the crazy pit. You know, you can't get locked up in the corner. You just walk out, and then you're out again. And he did that with an opponent. He put the opponent down the corner, walk to the other side, and they start hitting him from the north-south position. So see, those are the smart guys who use this. We see another guy grabbing somebody, lifts him up, runs up the wall to get more height, and drops them on the ground. You see, so people starting to get creative. People start making the pit in the gym. So now they start working with it. See, so those are the smart guys.
I love that because you know Tanawai. So when we were on a Gladiators, it was so fun because we got to do games like this in a sense. We got to do some wild stuff. And he and I's background was judo. And it was great to see these football players come in and go, oh, we're going to knock this big boy around. Not knowing that we had that judo background.
Yeah.
And to watch him do his stuff and us to work with each other, it's so cool to be able to do something like this. But this hit reminds me of the movies like Best of the Best, the old 80 movies, that fun martial arts kind of style again.
That's it. And the way they film it, you know, if you see the way they film it, they're behind the audience, you see somebody watching and behind the camera. It's like really, it's like video.
It really is.
It's like Tekken or Street Fighter, you know, and then with the sound effects, it turns dark when the end of the round comes. You know, special effects, the things that we did with the crazy, the background, you know, in the past, we go back in time, we go to the future, we go to Okinawa, when karate got discovered, there we interviewed the the originator of karate, you know, so bring a little bit of a history lesson from karate to it by going back in time. So those are the fun things that you can do if you have a lot of craziness in the studio. Today, this is not going to happen here, I already see, but the fighters will speak for itself.
I love it. Thanks for taking time.
You're very welcome, brother.
And if you want to see,
massive.
we got Manson Brothers.
Oh yeah.
Have you watched the whole?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Guys, go watch Manson Brothers. It's a fun movie.
Yeah. I'm a zombie and I'm killing people. So watch out. This foam out of my mouth. Get a lot of fun in that thing.
Yes.
Get up, brother.
That's it. Oh.